Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Let's talk about my obsessions. I haven't done one of these videos in a very long time. So we're gonna be talking about a lot. Let's just get right on through this. My main focus of entertainment this year has been the television. I have binged several shows this year. So let's just talk about those. This year has actually been the year of the rewatch for Caleb and myself, mostly myself, but Caleb is also rewatching one of his favorite shows. That's not The Office. He's rewatching an old favorite of his called The West Wing, which is the office of the White House. Am I wrong? I don't love it nearly as much as he does, but don't tell him this. I actually kind of like it. It's a good show. Mostly there's this one ship I super adore. And so whenever he's watching it and I'm around, I'll sit with him and watch it just to catch a glimpse of this ship because, Merlin has been on my mind a lot lately. So rewatching that was a no-brainer. In fact, I said in another video I was going to rewatch it. I said that in my Merlin video. But I would just like to state again for this record that Merlin is amazing. It is a work of Arthurian legend genius, and it does change quite a few things about the Arthurian legend, but it does so in such a way that I can't get mad at it, and I probably would have any other way. But it is genius, and it is so amazing, and it's still on Netflix, so if you haven't watched it, do that. It's fantastic. I'm gonna stop talking about Merlin. I'm gonna stop it. Another favorite of mine, though, that's on Netflix that I've been rewatching is Sherlock. Talk about genius! I love everything about that show. I love 98% of everything about that show. I don't like that it's over. Or is it over? Who knows? Nobody knows! Nobody knows if it's coming back or if it's done. And that makes me sad inside. All of it is just so great. And it gets stuck in my brain. And I love all of it. And I want everyone to watch it. And it's on Netflix, so you can, if you have Netflix. There is one of my favorites that I would like to rewatch, but can't, because I don't have any access to it right now, and that's Doctor Who. There's this band called Chameleon Circuit, and they have 2 albums out, and they are literally about Doctor Who. Like, they're dialogue about Doctor Who, dialogue from Doctor Who, they're about Doctor Who. And they've literally been saving my life while I wait to get my hands on Doctor Who. I heard that it's supposed to be on like some HBO streaming service in like May, but it's not May yet, and it's driving me insane. So I've literally been listening to Chameleon Circuit far too often for Caleb's liking, but it has literally kept me sane because it's just like all the Doctor Who vibes, and they're fantastic, and I listen to them on Spotify. I don't know if they're anywhere else, but I listen to them on Spotify, and they are great. And if you like Doctor Who and haven't listened to Chameleon Circuit, I would recommend that you do that because their songs are hilarious and clever and just like really emotional sometimes. So yeah, that's definitely a thing that I've been a little obsessed with lately is Chameleon Circuit, and so definitely you should go check those out. New Girl is on Netflix and is an obsession of mine. Caleb and I have been rewatching New Girl. We named our cat Winston. I even did a casual cosplay of Jessica Day, and my mom thought one of the pictures of her in the thumbnail was of me. My mom! That was funny. You should go watch it. Anyway, I just love that show so much, and their faces, they are so funny, and they vibe so well together, and all the characters are like completely different, and so unique. And their faces! Not only are they just beautiful human beings, but the faces they make on the show, they're hilarious. It's just so funny. I can't not laugh at the show. It's just fantastic. And it's on Netflix. I've said that already. But it's like one of the funniest sitcoms I've ever seen. And I love it so much. And everyone should go see it. It's so funny. There is one more show I came back to this year via Netflix that wasn't a rewatch. It's a funny story. A few years ago, I started watching Shameless and then stopped watching Shameless because it got weird. Yeah, too weird for me. Anyway, this is the part where people get mad. There was this ship on the show that I was kind of a little bit in love with. And while the show got a little too crazy for me, I wasn't ready to let them go. So while I stopped watching the show, I didn't stop following it, especially the tags of that ship, so that I could keep track of them through the years. Sorry, not sorry. Anyway, I got some really good news, and I needed to see it for myself, so I started watching it again on Netflix. I just caught up all the way on Netflix until the last season, and then I watched that on their streaming service, Showtime, I believe. And then I got all the way caught up. And I think I'm gonna watch the next season because they say it's their last season, and I'm just like, you know, might as well see what happens in real time with this ship that I absolutely adore. And so I've been a little bit obsessed with Shameless this year. It's one of those shows kind of like The Magicians where I can't just say I recommend it to everyone because it's not everybody's cup of tea, and I know that. I have like maybe 2 friends that would like it. Maybe. I'm not even sure. But, yeah, so I'm not gonna say I would recommend it because it's definitely not a show that's for everybody. I enjoyed it. It's very entertaining. There's literally never a dull moment with those Gallaghers. Never a dull moment. So while I enjoyed it very much, I would not say go watch it. It's good. I enjoyed it. I obsess over it. But it's not a show I will talk about a lot because of the inability to recommend it to people, because I know not a lot of people are gonna like it. Not a lot of people that I know are gonna like it. So, on the other end of that spectrum, I caved and watched High School Musical, the series. When I was in school, when High School Musical came out, I was the definition of a basic vanilla girl. Like, I still kind of am a little bit. Like, my favorite flavor of ice cream is literally vanilla. So when I say I'm basic vanilla, that's what I mean. I'm basic vanilla. I watched all the movies of High School Musical. I still know the songs by heart and will belt them at the top of my lungs when I'm alone at home. So I started watching High School Musical, the series, and I loved it. I love how they made it a real musical. I mean, people don't just start singing randomly in the middle of their day. I mean, my friends and I do. But we're not normal. We're not normal. It was so cute. It was so cute, and it was funny, and it's just like secondhand embarrassment is real. Like, it's real. Like, there were parts where I was just like, okay, teenagers. And I can't get those songs out of my head. It's a curse. On to a different subject. Earlier this year, I heard Caleb watching this show, and I was in here. The show sounded utterly ridiculous when he explained the plot of it to me. However, listening to it in an entirely different room, not being able to see anything that was happening. The lines that people were saying to each other were just so funny. I was cracking up. I was like, what is this show? So one night, like the entire night, when Caleb wasn't around to watch the television, I watched all of the episodes he had watched so far, and then we watched the rest of it together. So it has a name that can be heard wrong, so I made like a little sign so that when I say the name of the show, you guys know I'm not saying the bad word. Schitt's Creek. It's so funny! It's so funny! I mean, like, it's not afraid to use very adult language, but I would recommend this to even my mother. It's that funny. Oh my goodness, and it's just like so heartwarming too. Like, it wasn't very long until I really felt like I was really connected to and cared for and bonded with the Rose family and literally everybody else in town. Like, its acting is fantastic. The sets are just phenomenal. The clothing is just, the costumes are so great. The characters on this show are legendary. It's just like, it's genius writing. It's phenomenal work. We caught up right before the last season aired. The last season aired and I wanted to cry because it was literally perfect. It is a work of art that I love. I just love everything about this show and I will never stop loving it, and it is fantastic and I am obsessed. There was one Saturday this year when I had to do a lot, and I mean a lot, of laundry. So I needed a show to watch while doing the laundry, like folding the laundry. So I watched The Politician. It's a Netflix original that has Ben Platt as the lead person, and that's why I watched it. And I kind of just like fell in love. Like there was this moment where I had to decide, do I want to do all of my laundry today, or do I want to stop watching this and actually do some other jobs that I need to do? I did a lot of laundry that day. It was a good show. It's not one I would recommend to everybody because it's really intense and very heartbreaking, but it made me love Ben Platt even more, and I loved the storyline of it, and I just thought it was fantastic from beginning to end, and I hope they do another season of it because I just really like it and I miss them already, and I watched it all in one day. Yeah, Ben Platt sings on that show, and it just, like, I listened to those songs on repeat. Yeah, so, forgot to mention this, because I watched Schitt's Creek, I found a musical artist that I absolutely adore now. His name is Noah Reed. He plays Patrick on the show, and I love Patrick. Patrick's great, and Patrick sang on the show, and so I had that song stuck in my head, and so I found it on Spotify. Then I listened to all his other music, and it was phenomenal, and I love it all now. I've liked every single one of his songs. He's great. You should go check him out on Spotify. Like, Noah Reed, he's fantastic. Yeah, and so I put him and Ben Platt on a playlist, especially the songs from the shows. Honestly, the thing I've been the most obsessed with, though, this year has to be Good Omens. That show is fantastic. I have not read the book. I will read the book once I get my hands on the book. But Ashley made me watch it. She did. I'm not even lying. Not even a little bit. She texted me one day and was like, I need you to watch Good Omens because no one else watches it and I need to talk to somebody about it. So I watched it. And it wasn't even fair because, like, the two main dudes are two of my main dudes and it was on my to-watch list already. But I wasn't in the mood, but I could tell by her text that she really needed a vent right now because we had been talking about David Tennant for, like, the past 3 days. Hence the need for Doctor Who in my life. And so I just watched it and, like, I was attacked right in the middle of the very first episode with just, like, all this love. I just loved it from the very beginning. It wasn't fair, though, because, like, my main dudes. Okay, so what I mean by main dudes is I have these dudes and these dudettes, actors and actresses. Like, if they're in a thing, I am down to watch that. Like, I don't really need to know much else. It's just like, they're in it. I'll get to see their face. I'll get to experience their acting. I am in. So I have these dudes and these dudettes. Let me know if you want to know who they are. David Tennant is one of my main dudes, and Michael Sheen is also one of my dudes. So, like, they're the two leads. Of course I'm gonna watch the show. They're fantastic. You really need to watch it. It's great. Everybody on there was so talented because they have so many great actors in that show. It is not even fair. It is not even fair. And Neil Gaiman was in charge. Like, really? He's just so great. And the fandom is so talented too. Like, the things that people find and think up and create in this fandom are just beautiful. They are beautiful. I love everything about this show, everything about this fandom, and I would recommend this to literally everybody, my family and my friends. It is fantastic. I love it so much. Because I watched Good Omens, I needed to get my hands on as many David Tennant and Michael Sheen things as I possibly could. So I got my hands on Broadchurch on Netflix, David Tennant, and I kind of obsessed with that a little bit. I watched those 3 seasons so fast, it was not even funny, especially with David Tennant being one of my main dudes. And it was weirdly funny for a show that serious and meaningful, and yes, definitely worth a watch. It's on Netflix, and it was great. It was so great. I can't, that's all I'm gonna say. So on the other hand, I've recently started watching a new show. Like, literally just a couple days ago, I watched the pilot of this show, and it's called Prodigal Son. And it's still airing its first season. And let me just tell you, I was in love with it from the very beginning. It's another murder mystery show, and murder mysteries are like my thing. Like, imagine a 6-year-old little girl watching CSI and 24. That was me. It's just like, that's what my dad and I used to do. We used to watch murder mysteries together, and so that's like my thing. I literally was like, I already love this show. And Caleb was like, it's a murder mystery. What did you think was going to happen? You love murder mysteries. And I was like, that's true. Oh, it's so sad, but it's true. And Michael is fantastic in that, but just in general, the whole Prodigal Son thing is fantastic. So if you really want to watch a murder mystery, if you like Sherlock and you like Criminal Minds and you want to watch a new murder mystery, catch up with me on Prodigal Son, because it is so far so good and I love it, and we can gush about it together. It's fantastic. I love it so much, and that's my newest obsession. And so those are all of my obsessions. That was a lot of obsessions. I'm really sorry. It has been a while since I've done one of these, so I had a lot of things to tell you guys about. But really, even though this is the end of the video, and if you liked it, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up. You should totally tell me things that you're obsessing with. If you really want to know what I'm obsessing with at that moment in time, a really good way to find out is to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, which are linked down below this time. I post about them a lot over there. So if you want new recommendations on things that I'm obsessing over in real time and don't want to wait for one of these videos, go check out my other socials and subscribe if you would like to, because that would be awesome. And so that's really all I have to say, other than I'm a little bit crazy when it comes to obsessions. And yeah, I'm chilling out. I'm cool. Yes. So that's all. I'm sorry. And until I can see you guys again, I hope you are having an amazing week and an amazing life and just finding all the things to obsess over. And I will see you guys soon. Bye.